Hi all. In this video, we're going to look at our next landscape feature, waterfalls. Now, waterfalls should require no real introduction in terms of what they are, but for the sake of technicality, it's when a river takes a step down and the water falls over the step that's been created. Now, waterfalls form predominantly in the upper courses of rivers, and they form most commonly where we've got a transition between an area of harder rock and an area of weaker rock. Now, whenever we review this in class, or when you look at diagrams and things online, you're going to find examples of rocks. So, here's one here, a harder, more resistant rock, e.g. granite, as opposed to a weaker, less resistant rock, e.g. sandstone. Now, we'll try and keep using granite and sandstone, but if you forget these, it's not the end of the world, and they can be substituted for other rocks that are just relatively harder than one another. Now, as water travels over the hard rock and then passes onto the soft rock, it's going to erode that soft rock more quickly, just by virtue that it is softer. Now, the river's going to erode this soft rock more quickly through processes such as attrition. And remember, we need to explain what these processes are the first time we use them. So attrition, where rocks and pebbles will bounce against one another and the bed and banks of the river chipping pieces off. We'll also have corrosion, where rocks will rub against one another and the bed and banks of the river eroding them through friction. And we're also going to have hydraulic action, where the force of the water pushes air to the back of small cracks in the bed and banks of the river. This expands those cracks and they will eventually break and collapse. Now eventually this creates a step, and as this keeps happening, at the bottom of the step we're going to find it's going to get eroded more and more and more, and this creates what we refer to as a plunge pool here. Now if any of you have ever went jumping off waterfalls, you'll have experienced what a plunge pool's like. It's a really deep area just where the water hits the rest of the river. Now as the waterfall continues over the step, it deepens this and it deepens it and it deepens it, and eventually the ledge becomes unsupported because this is going to keep eroding in this way, and the bit at the top is going to be jutting out, and it's just going to be too heavy. It's not supported, so it's going to crack and collapse. It's going to fall in to the plunge pool, and this material is then actually going to be in this plunge pool here, and it's going to act with more corrosion, more attrition, and it's going to erode this plunge pool more deeply. Now, this process is going to repeat itself again and again and again, and as it does, the river, or the waterfall, steps back upstream. And what we are left with is a very, very steep-sided valley, which in this case we refer to as a gorge. Now, again, this could be an exam question. So you need to be able to discuss this, you need to be able to reproduce the answer with the annotated diagrams under exam conditions. It's something that you will get lots of practice at, but you should make sure that you practice it in your own time as well. So that wraps up this video. In the next video, we're going to look at our middle course feature, which is a meander. And I'll catch up with you guys then.